they used to have the X-Men arcade in here. The world's largest pinball machine. It's Hercules. The Palace Arcade is no longer the best arcade at Canobie Lake Park. Most people come to Canobie Lake Park for the rides, the attractions, the shows, but not me. I come here for the arcade games, and Canobie Lake Park has a great selection of arcade games. If there's any empty space in this park, chances are it is filled with an arcade game. So today, we're gonna wander around the park and check out the great arcades here at Canobie Lake Park. Starting off with this game room right behind me, it's literally labeled game room. And I already spy some skee-ball games inside. One thing I always loved about the Canobie Lake arcades is that they had classic games in them. It looks like all the classic games have been replaced with the new bright and shiny LED-filled games like this skee-ball here, as well as this basketball game. I don't think I've ever seen a basketball game that looks like this, but one thing they do have is an old school change machine. Yeah, so nothing too exciting inside this first arcade, so I think we're gonna move on to the rest of the arcades here at Canobie Lake Park. Making our way towards the back of the park, we get a great view of the actual Canobie Lake. Yes, that is Canobie Lake, the lake that the park is named after, but we're not gonna take a long look at the lake. We're gonna look right over here to the Boathouse Casino. No, this isn't actually a casino. They have casino style games in here, and if I remember correctly, they used to have the X-Men arcade in here. I'm gonna be severely disappointed if it's not in here, but we're gonna go take a look anyway. Well, there's no X-Men arcade anymore, but there is quite a variety of slot machines. This is crazy. They have like slot machine type games in this arcade. Some of them are like really cool. Like you have like Canobie Jackpot Casino. Oh, this was they actually had another casino in the park. So that's what this was. I thought it was like the name of the game, but it's not the name of the game. It's just advertisement for their other casino that they used to have. I guess all those old casino games got moved in here into the Boathouse Casino, but I like how they have the classic casino style games back here. No X-Men game. Maybe they have it somewhere else. They like to move the arcade games around a lot here. So we'll take a look at some more arcade games at a different location. On the way out, I noticed this, an Injustice arcade game. It's like a fighting game. It's no X-Men, it's no classic X-Men game, but it has quite a variety of characters right here. And one person I noticed is their Scorpion from Mortal Kombat mixed in here with the DC superhero characters. So it's like a little bit of a classic fighting game. You have an iconic classic character mixed with this like new school LED game. Like, this is not for me. These are not the kind of games that I enjoy. But I bet somebody who's a DC superhero fan will enjoy this game. But I'm on the hunt for X-Men. Now, I am determined to find the X-Men game. I highly doubt it's even on the property anymore, but I have fond memories of playing it at the Boathouse Casino. I'm slightly disappointed that it's not there. Canobie Lake Park, where's your X-Men game? Just a short distance away from the Boathouse Casino is the area themed to the Untamed roller coaster. So this is all like bears and like old lodges and stuff, and I believe this area is called Bear Lodge, but inside Bear Lodge is one of my favorite places in the entire park. We've seen this before on the channel, and if you watch my videos for a long time, you'll know what I'm talking about. In the area leading up to my favorite place in Canobie Lake Park, there's a few arcade games, including the iconic Zoltar, and then there's like some of the new school crane machines, a couple air hockey tables. This looks like some kind of stacker. Yeah, it's a huge stacker machine, and another couple prize games. But what I'm here for is this, the pinball parlor. Now, we have seen the pinball parlor before on the channel, but as many of you know, I'm a huge fan of pinball, so we're gonna go in there anyway and go check it out, go look at all the pinball games. We were recently at a pinball convention, so if you're a fan of pinball, click the link up in the corner or click down below. I'll link to the pinball convention video. But for now, we're going inside the pinball parlor. Judging by the amount of love pinball gets here at Canobie Lake Park, I'm guessing like the owner or the manager or somebody is a huge fan of pinball, because look at all these just iconic pinball photos. This one right here, I believe that's the mayor of New York City smashing pinball machines, because back in the day, pinball was actually illegal because it was thought to be a form of gambling. So pinball is a pretty rebellious game to be playing, and this is also a classic Canobie Lake photo. This is actually inside another arcade that we're gonna look at in a few minutes, but this is where they used to have Pinball Alley over in the Palace Arcade. But for now, let's go inside the pinball parlor. There are some great pinball machines in here, and the cool thing is it like takes you through a little journey through pinball history. You start over here and it just gets more advanced the further you go around. Like each game, it goes like by year, I'm pretty sure. It goes by year all the way around this room. So sorry if you're getting dizzy from my panoramic shots, but we're gonna start over here. Some of these older games. As we're looking at some of the new school pinball machines, just remember how it all started with games like this. Press the flippers up here. So just remember as we go around, remember these classic games as we move on to some of the more advanced games. Here are two very iconic games by Williams, F-14 Tomcat and High Speed. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper pinball room without the mother of all pinball games, the holy grail of pinball, the Addams Family. I mentioned this before, this is everyone's favorite game. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like it's out today, or is it on? Oh, I think I just broke the Addams Family by pressing start. But yeah, there's the Addams Family. I'm gonna walk away before I get in trouble. Well, actually, I wanna take a look at Data East's Star Wars game. I love the artwork on this Star Wars game. You got Luke and Vader fighting there, Return to the Jedi style. Ooh, one of my favorite characters, Bid Fortuna. I know his real name is Bib Fortuna, but I always have called him Bid Fortuna, and I'm gonna continue to call him Bid Fortuna. This is an awesome pinball arcade. You got like a majority of the classic iconic pinballs in here, like this one right here, Jurassic Park. I love the trigger, the shooter right here. The ball shooter is like a gun, so that's pretty cool. And of course you got Twilight Zone, another really cool game. And one of my personal favorites, Revenge from Mars. You have that projection right there on the play field, so this is like a mirror that reflects down onto the playfield. I just noticed there's somebody mutilated the side of this cabinet. That hurts my heart, seeing this Revenge from Mars mutilated like that. But nonetheless, it's still a fun game. It's very obvious that whoever runs this part of the park is a big pinball fan, because a majority of the machines have toppers. Like these things on the top of machines do not typically come with pinball machines, so they're usually like aftermarket mods. They're called mods for those who aren't pinball people. So there's a lot of mods on these machines, so it's obvious someone is a big fan of pinball. As we make our way around the room, you may recognize some machines that we saw out at Pintastic, which was that pinball convention I mentioned earlier. This is Jersey Jack's Wizard of Oz. What's really cool is we got to hang out with the man himself, Jersey Jack, at Pintastic. Again, if you want to see that, make sure to check the links down below. But here is the Wizard of Oz machine. We got to play the new Willy Wonka machine, and if the Wizard of Oz is anything like Willy Wonka, then this is going to be a good machine.
Remember, the journey is the reward.
I'm just buying
Well, it is a pretty good game. I got today's #2 high score. I mean, it is pretty early on in the day, but yeah, attaboy. I feel pretty good about myself right now. Now, I could literally spend all day in here, but I'm sure you're all sick of me talking about pinball after we made an entire 30-minute video about pinball. So I think we're gonna leave the pinball parlor for now. On the way out of the pinball parlor is something I didn't think that they still had here at Canobie Lake Park. It's been missing for a very long time, but I'm guessing it was just under a little bit of refurbishment. Is the world's largest pinball machine. It's Hercules, this beast of a machine. This has been here for as long as I can remember, and I didn't think that it was still here. I thought they got rid of it because the last few times I've been here, it's been missing, but it looks like it is back and better than ever. Now, you've never played Hercules. What do you think? Just looking at this machine, what do you think of the Hercules machine?
My arms don't fit all the way around to hit the
I know, Trush can barely reach the side. Yeah, you gotta have like a stance for this game. Big plunge for this big boy. Yes. It's like, oh my God. Now you're probably watching this video thinking to yourself, did he really pay $40 for a day ticket to come in here and play arcade games? And the answer to that question is yes. Yes, I did. I paid full price to come in here and play arcade games. Moving towards the Old West themed area, they have a couple small arcades over here. Of course, we're gonna go inside and go check them out. In the comments down below, somebody let me know, how many times have I said arcade while filming this video? It's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna keep saying it too, just be warned. This is called the Wooden Nickel Arcade. Look, I just said arcade again. Right after calling myself out, I said it again. But this has some pretty classic games, like the bubble hockey game and Time Crisis 2, and here it is. Yes! X-Men versus Street Fighter, yes! I've been looking for this thing. I knew it existed. Oh man, yes! I'm glad it is still out here. It's in the back corner of the park, hidden away, because it's a real hidden gem. What world are we living in? We have X-Men versus Street Fighter, right next to some Fortnite merchandise. See, this is what I love about Canobie Lake, though. You have the new school stuff and the old school stuff to bring you back to the memories of your childhood. Speaking of my childhood, back in high school, I used to be one of those sick skater dudes, and I always thought it was so cool to play Ollie King by Sega. Like, all the other arcade games are for peasants, but skater dudes, you can play Ollie King. And then right next to Ollie King is a game that is way better, Marvel vs. Capcom. And here's another classic arcade game, Ms.Pac Man. Looks like somebody redid the side art here, and it's actually in pretty good shape. You can't have a proper arcade unless you have Ms.Pac Man. That is like the #1 arcade game ever. Remember how I was saying Canobie Lake has some awesome arcades? Well, I think this one might be the best, because tucked away in the back corner, I almost missed it, is the Star Wars trilogy game, and it's the environmental one too. Usually there's another curtain right here, but it's like got the cockpit, it's got the seat, the flight stick, TIE fighters. Dude, this is one of my favorite arcade games. I almost bought this game. I found a pretty good deal on it. I almost bought it for the arcade at home, but I passed on it. I want this environmental one. This is awesome. So far though, this is the best arcade here at Canobie Lake Park. There is one more arcade I want to check out. It is literally like the granddaddy of all Canobie Lake arcades, and that's where we're gonna head right now. And it's the Palace Arcade. This place is massive. I'm super excited. It's got some advertisements right here. It's advertising that it's air conditioned, and it's got some cool games inside. So I'm all about it. Let's go in. Walking around here, it's very different from the last time I've been here. They've changed a lot. They really cleared the place out, and they got some new school games. But of course, they got the old classics. You got Jurassic Park, Time Crisis 4. But check out this massive Space Invaders. That thing is huge. And of course, you got the bright, shiny crane machines and all these other games. There's not a lot of old classic games. You got the slot machine style games, but tucked away in the back, I spy something really, really cool. They have 3 classic arcade cabinets. You got Centipede, the combo of Ms.Pac Man and Galaga. No arcade is complete without it. And a dedicated Galaga. You don't really see a dedicated Galaga too often, so it's really cool seeing it out here. Usually it's the combo of Ms.Pac Man and Galaga, but here is a dedicated Galaga cabinet. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Yeah, it is a dedicated Galaga cabinet. Wait, no, it's not. What is this game? Unless this is just some weird level of Galaga that I've never seen before. What am I looking at? If anyone's seen a Galaga game like that before, let me know in the comments below, because I have no idea what that is. It looks like Tetris and Galaga combined into one. I gotta figure this thing out. I gotta figure out what this weird version of Galaga is all about, so I'm gonna play. Again, if anybody knows what this is, if it's some weird Galaga mod, let me know, because this is kind of neat. I wonder if you can like capture block. What the hell? This is so weird. I wonder if you can like capture blocks and get 2 blocks. I'm guessing you can. This is hard because they're so much bigger. I got too ballsy with that one. Come on. This is weird, man. Like, maybe it's just broken. This is the weirdest thing ever. This is literally the weirdest Galaga I have ever seen in my entire life. I keep getting thrown off by the blocks. Okay, somebody needs to know, or somebody needs to let me know what this is all about. Tell me in the comments below. This is just weird, man. I was about to say, this Simpsons game looks an awful lot like a pinball machine, and then the further I looked, I noticed it is made by Stern Pinball. So this is kind of a weird thing. It's a coin shooter. So you move this little thing down here and shoot the coin. You can get it in like Homer's mouth or the dunk tank back there. This is like a weird thing for a pinball machine company to make. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I'm like straining my voice from being in here. I feel like I'm screaming. If I'm blowing out your eardrums, I apologize, but this is pretty loud in here. I mean, look at all the games. Of course it's gonna be loud in an arcade. I didn't even notice this. There's a Battle Royale Pac-Man. This is like, all the kids are playing Fortnite Battle Royale. This is a Battle Royale that speaks to me. Battle Royale Pac-Man. 4-player Pac-Man. What will they think of next? Well, we came, we saw, we played some of the arcade games, and this is the biggest arcade. Oh, so saving kind of the best for last, but honestly, the Palace Arcade isn't the best arcade here at Canobie Lake anymore. I'm slightly disappointed. One of the best parts of Canobie Lake was that they had classic arcade games, and now they're evolving into all the new school games. That's why I came, man, because they always had the old classic arcade games, like that 4-player X-Men. I'm still looking for it. I don't see it anywhere, but that was one of the highlights of Canobie Lake Park, for me anyway. Being a video game arcade nerd, it was always cool to see the old classic games you remember playing as a kid. You could always find them here at Canobie Lake Park. But now there's nothing. Now it's just the old, or not the old school. I meant to say now it's all the new school games, all the bright, shiny games, and no classic arcade cabinets. I mean, they did have a few tucked away in the back, so that made me extremely happy. But unfortunately, there's not as many old classic games, so I think the Palace Arcade is no longer the best arcade at Canobie Lake Park. It's sad, man. One of my favorite arcades in the entire world has been dumbed down to a local Dave & Buster's, man. The best part is coming out here and playing all the classic games that they used to have inside there. I mean, I haven't been here in a few years, so maybe they changed it a few years ago and I just haven't noticed. But the last time I was here, they still had all those classic games. Now, there are a few spread out throughout the park. I think that one over in the Old West section might be my new favorite, but obviously my all-time favorite one here, it was the Palace Arcade, but now it's the pinball parlor. I mean, come on. All those classic pinball games, and if you know me, you know I'm a huge pinball fan, so it was great getting to go in there. And the games are reasonably priced too, and occasionally some people leave the extra replay in the machine, so you can just walk up to any machine and just play for free. But anyways, I want to thank you for joining me as we wandered around Canobie Lake Park and checked out all the great arcades here. If you made it all the way to the end, let me know your favorite arcade game in the comments down below. If you want to support future videos just like this, make sure to check out patreon.com/Ben Lawrence, where for as little as $1 a month, you can help fund adventures and gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes bonus features. Or you can get yourself a Ben Lawrence t-shirt over on benlawrence.spreadshirt.com. And if you want to see more Canobie Lake Park videos and more arcade videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button.